Hi everyone, Susan Campfield here with Suestampfield.com. Hit the wrong button. Happy Crafternoon. Welcome, welcome. My name is Susan Campfield. This is my stamp room. We're going to create together. This is actually my monthly class. It is called Crafternoon. I do this video public, but people who placed a qualifying order in my online store last month got a packet in the mail to make this card along with me. And my team members, so my extended team, got a document with all of the measurements so that they could cut their own packet and create with me. And my direct team members got to make an exclusive version of this card just for them. That is part of the tutorial, part of the alternates. And they made that on Thursday night at our virtual team meeting, virtual and in-person team meeting. So I'm super excited to share this fold with you today. And I'm really glad to be here. So happy Saturday. I am I designed this fun fold for this class, and I write a very detailed step-by-step tutorial with all of the instructions, and it's so detailed that it's been printing out now for a while because I have lots of photos in there, so it's not quite done yet. But while it's finishing, we'll go ahead and take a look at the fun fold that we're making today. And then we will look at all the alternates as well. Now, I'm just going to let you know right off the bat here. So when I will be giving you the measurements for the card base and the main construction pieces. What I won't be sharing in this video is all of the designer paper or / embossed pieces, depending on the pattern, because there are a lot of them. You can make the card base and you can work all that out, or if you want the easy button, you can purchase the tutorial and I've got it all laid out for you. You just pick which design you want to do and you're off to the races. So let's go ahead and dive right in. My wonderful moderator, Mary Nass, is hanging in the comments here on YouTube, and she will be sharing those measurements with us. So let's go ahead, and I don't know if this worked on Facebook or not. Facebook's been very finicky lately. I don't see anyone commenting on Facebook, so I'm guessing that didn't work. So hopefully they'll find us over here on YouTube. All right, let's go ahead and switch to the desktop camera here. And I'm so excited to share this fold with you. So I'm going to, let's look at the first one. This will be the card that we're making today. This is the card that those who qualified got the packet to make. So we're going to slide it out of our envelope here. And it looks like that when the recipient receives it, but then it pops up for display. So this is called the Pop-Up Parade Fun Fold card. That's my name for it because it is a parade of pop-ups. 1, 2, 3 pop-ups here. And of course, we have that main one inside. Now, some of the versions have a panel on the inside. I walk you through. I'll walk you through how to insert that panel the best way. I think all the versions I used embossed panel that's a tone on tone. But for a different look, you absolutely could do a designer series paper panel in there. That would absolutely work. And then for the inside, our card opens up like a standard card. And I just have a piece of pattern paper in here. Now, I left my card blank because with the greeting hello on the front, this really could work for anything. It does, of course, stand for display. And of course, it folds flat to go in that envelope. So best of both worlds. It is a standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch size. And just has a ton of dimension and it's just really attractive. So would you guys like to see, before we learn how to make this, would you guys like to see all the alternate designs? I hope so. So first up is the one that my team made for our team event. Now this is featuring some new products called Beautiful Gallery is the name of the suite of products. And for this one, we actually did not use the, there's two bundles in this set. And for this one, we used the Beautiful Motifs. So inside this card, we have the Beautiful Motifs dies. Now these dies don't completely cut out. There's, I think, 3 or 4 of the dies that just cut a portion. There are some complete cutout ones. But it's really a cool effect. Sometimes I struggle with the inside of my cards. I like them to be as interesting, somewhat interesting, not boring, you know, so this is a great way to add that detail. So you can see the all of that dimension. Now this one does not have an embossed panel or designer paper on the inside. Totally didn't need it. Now, you don't have to put the decorative pieces on the sides, but it really adds to that 3D effect, and it helps when it comes out of the envelope. It looks nice, right? So we're all about looking nice. Now, hopefully you can make out on camera here, this is the new Damask Designs embossing folder. Absolutely gorgeous, you guys. This card base is all done in basic beige. And then this label is from Unbounded Love, actually, dies. And then these are the pressed flower motifs, embellishments that are just a really pretty bronze. Now for my team, I used a variety of patterns from this. I did go all florals, so I either used this pattern or this particular one. So you can mix and match. They're all absolutely gorgeous. And depending on where, you can decide where the greeting goes on this one, depending on your pattern. Like this one, I put it right in the middle. This is from this same piece. You can get 4 out of a 6x6 piece of the paper. One of them for this pattern, I didn't use because I didn't think it was flowery enough. It was more buds. But this one, same thing. I think I used 3 of the patterns out of this one. There was one that was just buds that I don't think I used as much. So yeah, those are the, oh, let's look at the inside. We did look at the inside. Okay, this is the beautiful gallery one. Let's set that one aside. And oh gosh, this one came out so cute. I love this one. Oh, I should tell you, the tutorial for this is available now. It is in my online store. Go to Suestampfield.com and you can click on free project sheets, but if you click on Shop Now tutorials, you will see it in the store. The blog post is not up yet, and all of the pictures aren't posted in the WooCommerce store yet, but they will be in my store later. Shooting for tomorrow here to get the blog post up. And if you want the blog post to come to you, you can subscribe at Suestampfield.com. Okay, so this cute card, love this one. Now, I was thinking of my sister Anne, who helps me in my business when I made this one. She loves wine. I didn't put the ice, there's a really cute ice cube stamp, you guys, in this Cheers and Sips bundle. And actually, this is stamped on the Designer Series paper. They're rectangles that are made to stamp the glasses on. Just super fun, super fun. And I know, Arlene, it's actually ready. Yes, all 18 pages are ready for you and ready to go. And my printer, you guys, I have so much trouble with my printer. It is just completely stopped. It didn't print out all of the thing. It's just so annoying, unless it ran out of paper. No, I don't think it did. I think it just doesn't feel like printing today. That's okay. Yeah, 17 pages of a very detailed step-by-step tutorial is available for you now. $15 in my tutorial store. So this one opens up like this, and we have some more of this cute paper. The paper is called Celebratory Sips. That's where this pretty floral pattern comes from as well. And then, can you see that embossing folder? Now this one I did do the embossing inside. I do a whole panel. I know it doesn't all show when it's flat like this, but when the card is standing for display, it really adds a lot of depth to the card. Totally optional whether you want to do that or not. But this new embossing folder, it's a 2-pack, and it's the skinnier 3x3 folders. This one is called, what's it called? Glass. So it's Glass and Gardens are the name of the 2 folders. One is a floral spray, and this one is like a pretty crystal cut glass. That's the pattern, and it's just really cool. And then inside our card we have just cheers to you, great for a birthday. It also has some nice anniversary sayings in it. Anyway, moving on. Let's look at more, Susan. We got more. We got to keep going. We got to make a card here. Okay. Oh, thank you, Jana. All right, this gorgeous one is another sneak peek, although the eyelet embossing folder that I used on the inside, I really love that look, but, you know, again, optional. This paper is called Floral Impressions, Now these two products, if you've gotten your new catalog and those customers, oh, it wants to do a software update. I don't think so, Apple. Thank you. Poor timing on Apple's part. Hopefully you guys can still see me. Now these two products you won't see in the catalog because they are part of the online products. So the Stampin' Up! Catalog, the new catalog, has beautiful, amazing things in it, like all of the blanking out on my names. Come on, Susan. Come on. Beautiful motifs, the beautiful gallery designer paper. This whole suite is in the catalog, but there's a bunch of other awesome products that are in the online store, and those will all be available on May 6th. So don't forget to look. The catalog has some beautiful things in it, but there is a lot more to choose from. So this one is the Floral Impressions Designer Series paper. This greeting is from a new set, and I also used it on the inside of the card there. The stamp set is all greetings. It is called Blooming Phrases, and they all have this fun little squiggle line at the end of them. And it's just a pretty font. It just looks like it's handwritten, right? I don't know if you can see the gems on there. Those are the new Strawberry Slush Pretty in Pink gems, which are gorgeous. So that was It's a pretty quick and easy card actually, but it just really looks great. Now you can see on this one I did designer series paper everywhere, which is kind of what we're going to do on our main card. One more to show you, and then we're going to dive right in. Oh, Stacy already purchased the tutorial. Happy creating, Stacy. You're going to love all these cards. So this one is our masculine card. I get so many requests for masculine cards. Plus this one, it doesn't have to just be masculine, of course, but this one also makes a great graduation card. It also has a very nice happy retirement stamp in it, sentiment in it, which is hard to find and really, really useful. For this one, I did all of the sides in embossing, and I have two different ones. So this particular bundle is called, I always get the name wrong on this one, Sunrise Sailing is the name of the bundle, and it's got 3 parts in it. It has a stamp set, it has dies, and it has a 3D embossing folder. The dies go in the embossing folder, and I know you can't see it on the camera, but this sailboat is actually embossed, so the sails are kind of curved and raised up, and the boat is curved and raised up. That is optional on this card. I have the instructions step by step on how to do that in the tutorial, but no worries if you don't want to do that. You don't have to. I think it would still look awesome. But you can see I have I used some of the ocean part of the embossing folder here, and this embossing folder is the So Swirly. This one I did a little bit different than the other cards in that the pop-up bands are a contrasting color to the card base, and it just gives it a different look. But for this nautical theme, I really thought this was great. This is another product that is not in the catalog. It is online. I did this one as a graduation card because I've already gotten my first graduation invitation, and I'm like, oh, need to get some of those cards going. So you could certainly put a graduation sentiment from another set in here, but it covers it with the congratulations and then you're destined for great things. So not necessary. All right, would you guys like to learn how to make the pop-up parade? So again, we got our parade popping up here. We've got 1, 2, 3. It is a parade of pop-ups. Let's do it. All right. Fantastic. I was inspired by a card I did recently, which was a pop-up cross card. And I thought, gosh, that's fun. Wouldn't it be nice to do a pop-up card like that, but that could be, work for any event. So let's do it. Let's grab our packet here, and we're going to walk through it. So this is the packet that my customers received. After I sent them all out, I was going through starting the tutorial, and I realized, cross-checking things for my team, and I realized that there were 2 pieces that were not in here when I went to go photo this packet for my team. Now in the tutorial, there's a lot of different directions on these paper. In the tutorial, I actually have a photo of all of the papers and the correct directions to cut them because it's a little confusing. And I go crazy with designer paper, so you can see why we're not doing all these. Oh my gosh, there's so many pieces in here. But all of my customers got a second packet in the mail because I found these two little pieces on my desk. Now, these are not critical to the card construction. They're purely decorative. They could have gone later, but that's not how I would do things. So I sent them all this piece. And so if you are watching and you got your first packet and this one hasn't arrived yet, please know it is coming. It's coming in a standard standard size envelope. It's actually a cardboard mailer to protect these little pieces, and you're also getting my brand new Found It stickers for your cup in there by way of apology for the delay on that. But if you haven't got these yet, no worries, you can add these when it arrives. Okay, so but I'm going to go ahead and put them on the card. You got yours yesterday, Rebecca. Awesome. All right, you know what, I'm going to leave this closed because there are a lot of little pieces in here and I can totally see me losing those. Let's pull this out. Now, I don't actually happen to have the note in this one, but those of you who got the packet have a note with what supplies you need. I'm just going to wing it. I'll figure it out here. If my printer would decide to start going again, I would have it on the tutorial, but no, it doesn't feel like it. All right, so we're going to start with our card base. This is your standard size card base, at least here in the US, and that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And you got yours today, Julie, in Oregon. Awesome. And then we have our pop-up bands. So this one is for the center, and then the top and the bottom. Okay. Let me give you. I'll go ahead and give you the dimensions on these now, I think, if that is good. So this one, since my thing didn't print out, I have to just glance at my computer here. So this one is 3/4 of an inch by 5 3/4, and it is scored at 3/4, 1.5, 4 1/4, and 5. And then the bottom one, same thing, same size. So you need two pieces that size. And then the center one here is 3 by 5 3/4, and it's the same scoring lines: 3/4, 1.5, 4 1/4, and 5 for the center pop-up. Let me show you how we want to fold these. So let's start with this one, and I'll reiterate these score lines here. So we have this one, we're going to do a valley fold on the first score line. So again, this piece is 3/4 of an inch by 5 3/4 long. Yes, 3/4 of an inch by 5 3/4 long, and then it's scored at 3/4. So we're going to do a valley on the 3/4, and on the 1.5, we're going to do a mountain. Okay, and those will collapse back like that. And then over here on the next score line, which is the 4 1/4 inch score line, we're going to do a mountain fold. And then on the last score line, which is at 5 inches, we're going to do a valley fold. Okay, so I can collapse these in, and I can get my bone folder here and just give those a good crease. Now, I used basic white for all of my cards. Well, not all my cards, but I used, for all the ones that are white, I did use the basic white. You absolutely could use the thick white if you want. I do so much layering, you guys. My cards get really thick if I use the thick. So I personally prefer the basic for most things, but your pop-up bands would be a little more firm and stable if you use the thicker cardstock, or if you used a colored cardstock. Now I'm going to do this one the same way. So a valley and a mountain, and then a mountain and a valley, so that they kind of mirror each other. And then I'm going to get my bone folder again and give that a crease. And if they get a little wonky when they got folded, just straighten them up. You can use your bone folder quite often to manipulate. If you folded something and a little bit off, you can usually use your bone folder to kind of whip it back into shape. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. We've got our top and bottom pop-up bands to make our little parade here. And now we're going to go to that center one. This one, and you may not be at all surprised to find out we're going to fold it exactly the same way. It's just a little bit bigger piece. So this one is 3 by, I have to keep looking over here to make sure I don't mess up, 3 by 5 3/4, and again scored at 3/4. So we're going to do a valley fold on the 3/4 fold, and then mountain, we're going to do the 1.5. Okay, like that. And then we'll do another mountain on this 4 1/4 inch score line, and then a valley on this 5 inch score line. I think I said cut over here, but you guys know what I mean. Okay, so it's going to collapse down like that. Let's give this a good crease with our bone folder. That side, and we're going to do this side. There we go. All right, so we've got our pieces all ready to go for our card. So now we also have an embossed panel here. This panel is going to go underneath the pop-ups. So I think it's easier to assemble this piecemeal and put it in there. I'll tell you, to be honest, the first card I made, I had all the pop-ups on there, and that's when I was just experimenting with the design, I decided I wanted to insert it. So you can do it, it's just a little fiddly. It's a lot easier to put it in first. So this piece is, hang on, 2 1/2 by 5 1/4, and this could be designer paper if you wanted. Again, this one will mostly show, you know, just between the bands we'll show it first, and then when it comes out of the card and stands for display, if you're looking down from above or at the sides, that's when it really shines. So, all right, let's go ahead and put this together. We're going to start with our, let's start with the top one. Is that what I did on that? Let me follow the tutorial. So I'm being all matchy here. Yep, we're going to start with the top one. Seems like a good place to start, right? I'm going to grab my adhesive here. And so on one side, this will be the left side, I'm going to put some adhesive just on that first 3/4 inch piece. Let's call it a tab, okay? And we're going to take that and we're going to line this up with the very top edge of the card and the folded edge of the card, just like that. Again, this tutorial is already out there, available for purchase at Suestampfield.com in the tutorial shop. There we go. So we've got that attached. If you qualified for the class, don't buy the tutorial because you're going to be getting it in the mail from me. Now, instead of putting the middle one in, we're going to skip down to the bottom one. The reason for that is it's hard to figure out where even spacing would be until we get the bottom one on. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're not attaching the right yet, not at all. We're only attaching the left side. Now we're going to put adhesive on that left tab for the bottom one. We're going to line up with the folded edge here and the bottom edge. Arlene's already printing out her tutorial. Hers is probably printing out just fine because your printer probably behaves itself. Of course, I've got it pulled up on my computer because that is another option. You don't have to print it out. You can look on your device. All right, so now that we have these two, and again, oh, hi, Mercy. Mercy's coming in to join us. Now that we have these two attached on the left, we're going to attach the center one only on the left. So same thing, I'm going to put some adhesive here and here. And this time, I'm just going to be lining it up with the folded edge, and I'm going to center it between the top and the bottom pop-ups. Approximately. It doesn't have to be exact. Just eyeball it. Whatever looks good to you. Okay, so we've got those. Now we're going to flip all of these backwards, and we're going to insert this. Now you might be wondering, it's snowing on Sunny and Gizmo. Oh, Sunny and Gizmo are the eaglets in California, although my gosh, they're growing so much now. They almost look like full-grown babies, full-grown young eaglets. So the reason that we're attaching this after we have the left ones on is the left ones are going to be a guide for us to get this centered, okay? So I'm going to be adhering this inside. I'm going to show you before I do it because it's white on white and I can realize that's hard to see. I'm going to have about the same amount of space at the top and the bottom, and about that same amount of space on the left side to the edge of those pop-up panels, okay? So it just gives you a guide on where to stick this. Because it's white on white, if you're a little bit off, nobody will ever know. It's our little secret. Don't stress. Plus, you know what? This is a one-of-a-kind handmade item. if you make it too perfect, they will think you bought it in a store, and that's no good. So it's okay to make a little, those little errors that show it's handmade, one-of-a-kind item. All right, so we've got that inserted inside, and now we can go in and we can do the other sides of our pop-ups here, okay? So we're gonna put some sticky on. This time I'm gonna load them all up. And you can start from the bottom, you can start from the top, you can start at the middle. It doesn't matter because now we know where they're going, but I am gonna go to the top here. Now with this one, you wanna collapse the piece up and stretch it and just lay it in. And you can kind of adjust it a little bit if it's off. If you try to manipulate it too much, it does make the top piece buckle a little bit. So you can see mine was off a little bit, so I did tuck it in. So now it's buckling just a little bit, but this is where I was saying your bone folder can work wonders. We're gonna just redo that crease line so that it lays nice and flat for us, okay? Now I'm gonna take the second one. Now this one's lining up perfectly. Flatten that one down. You can crease it again if you want, totally up to you. Okay, and then that last one, same thing. I'm going to collapse up this piece, flatten it out, and stick it on like so. All right, so we've got all three of those. Now this one is sticking out just a little bit. If that bothers you, you can absolutely take a pair of scissors and just snip that off. Totally up to you if you want to do that or not. I was probably a little tucked in on this left side. I'm actually fine with it, so I'm gonna leave it. Okay, so we've got that. I think it's because my front is a little bit short. So, so can you see our card base there? That is it. And again, it will fold flat to go in the envelope. Now this particular design will go flat either way, your choice on how you want to smash it in the envelope. There are a couple of my designs where I have elements that are sticking off one side. When you do that, and well, let me show you right now. When you do that, if you're decorating and it's hanging off the edge, just know when you go in the envelope, you can only go to the left so that it will fit. Because if you go to the right, it's going to be too big for the envelope. I hope that makes sense. So easy fix. You're not going to want things going off both sides because then you're going to need a bigger envelope. Which, if you have that, hey, no worries, right? And I think the celebratory sips was the same way. I have this guy hanging off a little bit. I just thought it looked nice, but you can see that makes it a little too big for the envelope. So we're gonna go this way and then we're perfect, all right? So let's go to finishing our card. This is the fun part. Now this is where I'm not gonna be giving you all of these dimensions because you are going to get confused. There are a lot of pieces in here, so let's get them all out and walk you through, but no worries, they're all in the tutorial, and there's a picture on the direction of these pieces, because if your paper is directional, depending how you're decorating your card, it absolutely does matter. So we have a bigger piece. Now this one is purely decorative. If you're on my team, I might have forgotten to put this on your measurements. It's purely decorative. You can just use any scrap to go on the inside. It's not necessary for the card. But you guys are going to get the full step-by-step tutorial for free, of course, because you're on my team. So no worries, it will be in there. So let's get out all our pieces and parts here. Is that safe to do, Susan? Maybe. Maybe. All right. And then again, if you got your packet, so you can see these two go the different direction. This is the Perennial Lavender Designer Series paper. This came out, I want to say maybe a year and a half ago. It is carrying over again in the catalog. It is just absolutely gorgeous paper with these little tiny pieces here. And then if you got your packet in the mail, these two pieces went missing on my desk, and I had a little found it experience. So you're getting a separate packet from me with these two little guys with your found it sticker, and we'll need those as well. Okay, so I think I've got all my parts and pieces here. I'm going to start with the main element here. Now I find it easier to put this on by just collapsing everything flat. So I'm going to put my adhesive on the back of this piece, and we're going to flatten this out, and I just want to center it in that center part of the main pop-up. And I am not doing a very good job of centering today. There we go. Okay, so I've got that center piece, center pop-up piece decorated. Yay. Whew. Designer paper makes it so easy, you guys. All right, so now I'm going to take these two that are, the pattern is horizontal, and they're going to go at the top and bottom here. So let's do that. Same story. You just can flatten the pop-up to stick that in the middle there. So just take a minute to get it straight. So I got the top one on. Let's go ahead and put the bottom one on. Now this is where I might get I might go in a different order than the tutorial. I get excited about putting the card together, and I've made this card a lot. So you can follow along with the tutorial, those steps. It really doesn't, honestly doesn't matter. Let me zip ahead here so that I'm kind of following it. All right, I think what I did next in the tutorial is I put on all 4 of these little squares. Let's start with the left side, and these are just gonna go on the top and bottom pop-up right here in that little spot that's perfect for this little square. So let's stick this one on right here. Whoops, gotta get some adhesive on it. There we go. Now we're cooking. All right, I want to make sure that I put the paper right side up, or it's going to bug me. Now these side pieces are, as I said before, they're optional. You don't have to have them, but gosh, it really adds to the 3D look of the card, I think. And when it pulls out of the envelope, these will be on view. So, all right, let's switch. All right, that was not liking my little pieces here. All right, so I've got those 2 on right there. Now I'm going to flatten that and put these on. Now you absolutely could just go ahead and put that piece on. Totally up to you. Just trying to follow the tutorial here a little bit. So there we go. Marcia is on my team. She's got hers done. It is super easy, right? Super, super easy to make. But it looks like such a wow. All right, we're going to go ahead and stick this at the bottom. All right, so I've got my right side little decorative pieces there. Now we're ready for the other two pieces. Now, you could absolutely do these in the same pattern as this. You could switch it up. I chose to go with the single lavender stem pattern. You could also do pieces of this. Totally would look great with just about anything. And then, of course, instead of using designer paper on these, you absolutely could use an embossing folder. All right, so and just do embossed pieces. But this is a great way to use up. Who's got some Designer Series paper scraps laying around? I'm guessing I'm not the only one. This is a great use for these little pieces. All right, now we're going to do the one on the right. Okay, there we go. All right, so we've got that center part done. Now we're going to decorate the 2 sides. So I have these 2 pieces right here. And again, you could use any pattern here. I could be using the other side on this. I want this part to really pop out though, so I'm going to go with a more neutral pattern. And I'm just going to put this over on the side to just make that kind of decorative and fancy. And then we'll smush these guys over there and put the other one on. Again, make sure that you're following the direction. This one, the direction is vertical. So make sure you pay attention when you're putting it on. Honestly, if you put one side upside down, just make sure the other side is also upside down, because you know what, you're the only one that's going to notice, right? The recipient is going to go, wow, what an awesome card. All right, there we go. And now we're going to just do a quick little easy decoration for the front, because on this one, the designer paper is doing all of the heavy lifting for us. All right, so let's go ahead and let's bring this in. And we're going to get our Highland Heather ink pad. And we're going to grab our word hello from Unbounded Love. And we're going to stamp it on this part And this is the Unbounded Love dies as well. I'm using Highland Heather. You absolutely could use Gorgeous Grape if you want a darker look. Totally up to you. And we're going to go ahead and put that on our card with a dimensional. All right. So let's grab somewhere around here. I've got some dimensionals. There we go. I love this die. It is so beautiful. Now again, in the tutorial, I have a ton of tips for you with these other designs. I did do some changing up of how I assembled them, and the tutorial is going to walk you through all of them. It is absolutely the easy button, and it's going to make this super easy. All right, now we have this beautiful scallop frame. I wanted the hello to pop out more, so this I'm actually going to adhere with some multi-purpose liquid glue. Now, depending on your pattern, you can move this hello. Like if you don't want it in the middle, let's say you've got a pretty butterfly right there and you don't want to cover it up, you could move it down. Just make sure you leave enough room for your frame, but it doesn't have to be in the center. That's just, it happens to work well on this one. So there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to make sure we're on the back side of our little frame, and we're going to get our multi-purpose liquid glue here. And this is from the Country Hive, these fun little glue holders. She has a ton of different patterns and designs. And I'm just going to dot some multi-purpose liquid glue. Now, if you have arthritis or your hands are a little shaky and you don't want to put this frame on, you don't have to. This one you could actually do the adhesive sheets probably when you die cut it out as well. I'm just putting on little dots of multi-purpose glue, liquid glue. I do like how this the scallop look on this frame just makes this card look extra feminine, but the perennial paper does that anyway, right? So let's go ahead and grab this frame. Now, a little tip for you, if you've got too much glue, like I've got on borderline here. Hang on, let me grab a scrap of paper. Oh, this one happens to be embossed, but hey, that works. I'll just take a scrap of cardstock and I'll kind of spread out that glue a little bit so that it doesn't ooze out. I really don't like it when it oozes out. The other thing you can do is just let it dry first, but I don't have time for that. So I've just kind of spread out those little blobs so they don't ooze out on me. I'm going to flatten the center one down again and just go around my frame. It fits perfectly because it's actually one die that cuts out both pieces. So you get the frame regardless whether you want to use it or not, but it really does add that feminine lacy element to your card, right? So let's close this up before I have an inky disaster, and we're going to just finish really quickly. Oh wait, almost forgot the embellishment. Oh my gosh. So if you got your packet, you have a sticky note, and inside the sticky note we have a pearl. It could be a small or a big one, doesn't matter. And let me grab my Take Your Pick tool because that's the easiest way for me to get these gems off of the plastic. And we're just going to add one little embellishment right next to our hello, like so. And then if you don't have the pearls or you want to do something different, you can absolutely use the fine purple shimmer gems that came out initially with this suite. Totally up to you if you want to double down on the purple. I liked going with a white look because I have so much white on this card. And so we're gonna, yeah, I think that frame does make that hello really pop, doesn't it? I'm gonna put some adhesive on this. Again, this could be any width for the inside of the card. It's just purely decorative piece just to have a little extra fun inside the card. So I used a different pattern from the pack. Any pattern would do, but this one I did want some extra patterns on the inside. So Rebecca, you will be getting it via email, the tutorial. I finished it literally about 15 minutes before I went live. So, and as you know, when I send out the tutorial, you get an email with pictures of all the products and explanations and so forth. So give me a little bit of time, but it will be coming to you by tomorrow at the latest. So, and then we're just going to fold our card up. Now I'm leaving this blank because I don't know yet what event I want to send it to, and hello would work for anything. So I chose to leave the inside blank, but you absolutely could put a greeting inside. So let's take another look at all of our alternates. My printer is still not working, but I've got, you can see all the step-by-steps for all of the projects, and it walks you through them missing pages 1 through 5 because my printer said, nah, don't feel like it. Not in the mood. Okay, so we've got our perennial lavender one here. We've got our beautiful garden right there. I love the little extra detail of the designer paper. It's kind of hidden on the side, but remember when they pull out of the envelope, they're going to see that pretty paper along with that pretty embossing. So it just really adds to the look. And of course, I always get questions, does this fit in an envelope? Let's just test it out, guys. So it absolutely slides right in. Just flatten it out either way you want to go. I think it's a little easier to go that way for this one, and then it is all ready to go out in the mail. Okay, again, if you're using the thick basic white, it is probably going to need some extra postage because it will get thick with all our layering. All right, so what do we got? We got this one, and of course there's, I did use multiple patterns, 2 different patterns of that paper. So if you want to see what that looks like, and let's see, we've got our fun little drinkies here. Take a sip, everyone. It's perfect, right? Is it too perfect for the Suestampfield channel because of our Found It game? So this is the Cheers and Sips bundle and the Celebratory Sips Designer Series paper, which has this drop dead gorgeous floral in it. Absolutely love it. And then our cocktails on the inside. So cheers, everyone. And then we have this one with the new floral impressions and the, what's the name of this? Blooming Phrases is the name of this pretty stamp set with a little squiggly line. Love it. And then we have, of course, the Sunrise Sailing bundle. This one I did do a little bit differently, walk you through everything in the tutorial because I have a different embossing folder down here than here. But no worries, I walk you through how to do that. And this would be a fun 4th of July card too, right? So that is the pop-up parade card. They are super fun. I totally agree with you. And again, the tutorial available for sale now. If you've got a packet in the mail, you'll be getting that tutorial for free in your inbox. So keep an eye out for that. And team members, also, you'll be getting it for free in your inbox. And if you place a $50 order in my online store this month in April, then in May, you're going to get a packet for our next Fun Fold card. Yay. Can't wait to share that one with you. And let's go ahead and I'm going to flip the camera. Where's my button? Here's my button. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and letting me share this super new, cool Fun Fold with you. I hope you're having a great Saturday, and I will be back tonight at 7:30 Central Time for one of our crazy stamping adventures. So I hope you can tune in then. Take care, have a great evening, and I'll see you soon. Again, the blog post for this with all the pretty pictures of all the cards and all the details will be on my blog, suestampfield.com. You can go there and click sign up for blog posts because then you'll also get it by email so you don't miss out. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.